All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to TF Live's cast of the ozfortress Season 24 Upper Page Playoffs. This is the Upper Page Playoffs game between the current top two teams in ozfortress this season, Big Chungus, which is a fantastic team name, and I definitely don't get sick of saying every week, and Coffee Clock, which are, as I just said before, the top two teams. Joining me on this cast tonight, we have the wonderful Graham, or the artist formerly known as Dreamboat. How you doing, Graham?
I'm phenomenal, man. For one, again, it feels like it's been too long. I mean, it's only been a couple weeks since we last did it together, but I've missed TF2, man. It's a classic game. It's my first love. Well, Knights of the Old Republic was my first love. It's my second love, and the fact that I'm able to come back here, hop right into upper page playoffs between two of the top teams in Australia, the 1 and 2 seeds. I mean, what better way to come back?
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you back as well, and I'm looking forward to some very, very exciting games. So, as this is a playoff game, it is going to be a best of three. So, this best of three is going to operate in a pick ban system, as like most of you are probably aware of how playoffs usually run. We are halfway through picking and banning at the moment. The first ban was on the side of the team that won the last encounter, which actually was Big Chungus, which is the Hertz team. For me, that was quite unexpected. I always came into the last game that we casted with Coffee Clock as my favorite, and it was a really, really exciting game, and it was taken from them by just like a really, really strong display from the side of Hertz's team, from Big Chungus. But yeah, so they got the advantage here. Their first ban was Product. Product is usually an instant ban. Teams don't like playing a lot of Koth, so it was indeed the instant ban of Product. Cookie came back on the side of Coffee Clock and banned Metalworks right away. Again, Metalworks, quite popular in America, hasn't really gained favor in the Australian community so much because we prefer like a little bit more open maps, a little bit faster play. So that one got banned pretty quickly. And then the first pick, the one that you should see on your screens right now, is Logjam, which is a map that we sort of had a little bit of experience with. Hyce coming back to do a little bit of testing on this map in our Summer Cup series before and making those changes. And now it's coming back and seeing quite a lot of play in this season. What's your experience with this map, Dreamboat?
Well, it's not a ton of experience, but I mean, I was kind of reminiscing with you earlier and making myself feel really old because I realized I've somehow been around TF2 for 5 years now. I started playing competitively in 2014. And one of the things I used to do was play late night pugs because I had really good ping from my university dorm room all the way to Europe. I played late night Euro pugs, and Logjam actually came up a ton. I forget even what pug site Europe was using back then. Please, someone in chat, like, correct me or figure out what it was. It was the one that like you could have different announcer packs, like you could have Admirable do like the announcing. Regardless, like that was my experience with it, playing it way back then. And to be honest with you, I loved the map. It was a map I was a little bit sad that being an NA player and NA person that I didn't get to see in ESEA, especially over a map like Granary, which I freaking despise. So I'm really happy that it's back. I'm happy that Hyce is still updating it, still fixing it. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you, no map is ever perfect.
Yeah, and it is like we have worked quite closely with Hyce, like based on feedback from quite a few ozfortress players. Hyce has been updating this map back from when it was last played, sort of a very popular in Europe. You know, as you say, about 2014, 2015. It's now had quite a lot of changes. This mid is very different from the mid that it used to be. It's more open in some places, like this cave flank. And it's less open in some other places, so it's plays very, very differently than the way it used to play. But it's still Logjam in my mind, and I feel fondly about it too. I was like quite keen to get this map back, and I have spammed the admins for the last like 3 years asking for Logjam cups, and when it finally happened, I was so pleased. But yeah, Logjam is going to be our first map today. This was picked by Hurt. This was a map that they did really well on against Coffee Clock before. Last time they kind of played together was on this map. I don't know if that necessarily came down to lack of knowledge of this map on the Coffee Clock side, or if it was just that the Hertz team was just so strong on it. So it was very close, even though the score was 2-0 in the favor of Hertz's team. It was like lots and lots of back and forth going through, and it does actually look like, while we're saying this, looks like there is going to be a server change, so we may drop out and drop back in terms of your video for tonight. Once we have sorted out these servers, they're probably changing to another provider because of someone's ping, I imagine.
Redcoat had 150-ish, I think, sitting in this server, so I think he's probably the reason they moved. And you know, if we were in a minute and a half delayed on STV, man, like they posted it in game chat, I was gonna be so tempted to just like pop in and be like, "Hey guys," and then leave. But you know, minute and a half, I'd hate for them to have like a quick minute ready up time.
Yeah. Looks like we should hopefully be getting that new server string happening pretty soon, though. In terms of the second map that was picked after this one, the second map that was picked is another old favorite in Snakewater. Snakewater is, you know, a staple in like basically every scene, European, American, and Australian. Everyone loves Snakewater. This one was Coffee Clock's pick. I feel that this is a much safer pick, as Coffee Clock will have much more set plays on that map and will know it a lot better. And I think this is, should Logjam fall not in their favor, that's the map that they can bring it back on. Do you have any sort of thoughts on these maps, in particular Snakewater, Dreamboat?
It's tough. I've never been a huge Gully fan. Granted, my mids got better towards the end of my career. I was never a big Gully guy. I was not the first guy that would go out and pick Gully. If I had pick bans back when I played, I probably would have banned Granary followed by Gully every single time. So a little part of me is not entirely thrilled that we're seeing it come out in the decider of this series, but you know, it is what it is. On the other side, Snakewater, like, I was a classic mix-up fan when I came into TF2. That was a great map for mix-up. I can think of many great games that they played on it, ranging from ESEA lands against Froyotech to an infamous I-Series map. So I'm excited to see Snake come out.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, just trying to sort out these maps. Sorry, these servers, I should say.
I'm just, again, while you're sorting out servers, I'm just gonna say, I'm so happy Logjam is back. Thank you, Hyce. Thank you, Hyce. Thank you. Like, I love this map. I'm so happy it's back. I can't say that enough.
Sure. Actually, is Hyce in chat?
Yeah, he just joined.
Yeah. If Hyce is Hyce around, if he wants to come into
Hyce is
Mumble,
in Mumble apparently
I'll
already.
see if I can drag him.
Hyce.
Hey,
thank
Hyce.
you. I'm so happy Logjam's back.
Awesome. I have no idea if he's actually here, but he has joined the Mumble. Let us know if you're here, Hyce. Sure. We'll see what he happens next. I believe he is unmuted. Yes. Anyway, so Logjam is the first map that we're going to see. The second map is going to be Snakewater, another old classic, and the third map is going to be Gully, should we need it. Gully is I feel Gully is an Enrith map. I reckon if it does get to Gully Wash, then I reckon Enrith is going to activate on all of these people, and it's going to go the way of the Hertz team. So yeah, is that Hyce flashing that I saw? Are you around, my dude?
Is my push to talk working at this time? It seemed like when I first pushed it, it wasn't working.
You are
here.
It
is definitely working now.
Hello, guys. I'm very happy to see you guys playing Logjam in a playoff game here in ozfortress. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Not
it's
only
really exciting. I'm really keen to see this map play. I mean, you've done a lot of work on it leading up into this season, and I think this is the first time it's going to be played at this super, super high level with all these stakes at play. It was played a couple of weeks ago, and we also casted it then, but this is the sort of the first playoffs game that it's seen in quite a long time, I imagine, Hyce.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
been a
also on
long
top
time.
of that, like not only playoff match, but the fact that you're basically gifted a free viewing of the top 2 teams in Australia playing at it. We're talking like it is genuinely the cream of the crop, going head to head with everything on the line. I don't think you could ask for a better way to have this map tested out.
That is absolutely correct. I mean, that is what you dream for as a map maker. You know, you always talk about, well, we've played some pickups on the map, and it kind of seems like it's all right, but you know, you don't really know until you have organized teams playing, and you kind of set the pug mentalities aside and start to actually go, oh, we're trying to be serious and we're trying to win this thing here. That kind of changes the stakes and changes how people play a little bit. So it's definitely interesting to see it with the top teams in a high stakes setting here. I did watch the stream. I caught the VOD of the game show match a couple weeks ago, which was excellent. But this is excellent to see that we got a playoff match tonight too. This is awesome.
Yeah, so they are already in the server. I believe they're just waiting for us to finish having a chat before they ready up. So it looks like we're very soon heading into this series of maps that you're going to see tonight. It's going to be a long one. Oh, they're readying up very, very quickly. There we go. So that is our first ready up. You're more than welcome to stay around in Mumble Hyce if there's anything you want to add sort of during the downtime here. But I imagine there's not going to be too much downtime as we do start heading towards this first mid. And my camera right now is on Redcoat as he is walking across that point, getting that pack out, arriving at about the same time as Enrith. No real sticky damage exchanged just at this point as both of these soldiers are starting to get into position here. And the first jump is this double soldier aggression from the red team, which is Coffee Clock on your screens, and there's a lot of damage. Hertz and Lau both farmed there. They do both lose their lives as Redcoat does die too. Very low health on the red team as they are forced to back out of this mid due to their health, and they are trying to re-push with their heals now actually after a few crossbows have been hit, and they have taken all the ground, and it's their 3 down. The spawners of Riot has come in really quickly there, and that is the first mid falling the way of Coffee Clock, Dreamboat.
Yeah, and an absolutely sick bomb came in. Rocky, I was pretty confident was going to get the kill onto Doge, but Riot came flying just right in behind, managed to get the pick, save his medic, and that allowed both scouts to get healed up. And I mean, if you only have one scout on one side with a medic and you got 2 on the other, side with 2 is probably going to win that fight. So Big Chungus wisely backed off of there. Now we get to see a little bit of a second hold. Wanted to go for a bomb. I think he missed that serve.
Yeah, so Riot is probably going to set up for some sort of really fast bomb here, as he usually would. And there's some nice clipping on these ramps that'll kind of let him do that. Here he goes. Nope, beefs it again. And I guess that sort of... Yeah, there's not a little bit of a lump there, I think, that's sort of, yeah, slowing him down, unfortunately, in that choke. If you're paying attention, Hyce, I think he wants that clipping there.
I am. The mid side is just a little bit not steep enough. It needs to be a little bit steeper, a little bit longer. It'll be easier to surf off of. That's something I'm working on for next version.
Fantastic. Yeah, Riot dropping this ramp sucks in chat. Yeah, awesome. So if you keep that in mind, I'm sure Riot for one will be pleased. He looks like he's changing his mind and he's seeing if he can get through on this cave side. Here he goes. Nice fast bomb coming in through this cave. He's right on top of Lock actually, but only manages 1 rocket, and there's that pack right there. Rocky looks like he's setting up for the counter sack instantly, but Hertz was too quick for him and has already sacked before he can do anything. Hertz and Riot both actually very good snipers, and this map does have some nice sightlines. It'll be interesting to see if they try to pull out something like that so early on in this game. Hertz is on spicing if he can check anything in spawn, and Riot is up on that sniper class, so right away they're aware of it. We'll see if Hertz does choose to commit on this spy. He does. Hertz playing his main right now, committing on this spy. They should be aware of the sniper because of that checking in spawn, but Hertz has now committed. He looks like he's walking through this cave area on the right. He's made it really deep, walks directly in front of Sam. Sam not seeing that, and he's in a really good position right now. decloaking underneath the midpoint. Oh, they can smell him though. Yeah, Cookie and Sam both know that he's right there, and they're really, really aware of him. He does go for something though. Quick 180 pipe from Redcoat, not making anything happen there for Hertz, unfortunately. And while this was all happening, the sniper in Riot was taking some pot shots around this corner, but everyone is staying safely behind this midpoint. Sorry, not midpoint, second spire, I should say, as there's a little bit of spam trying to open up this ground through choke. But yeah, nothing going right now, Graham.
Well, there is a bomb coming in. Yule from above. You know, got some damage in, no force. That's what he was going for. There isn't going to be a counter sack, I don't think. It's coming in a little bit late, but it will actually be flying through, and it's getting absolutely annihilated. Rest in peace, Rocky. One thing I'm a little surprised by, I mean, this is still the same Cookie, correct? Like, I'm surprised they put Riot on sniper. Didn't just hold the door open. Riot sure he's a good sniper, but Cookie is a great sniper.
Cookie is fantastic, but Riot is definitely very good as well. Riot has played this game easily for just as long as Cookie has, and I think he's very comfortable on this sniper class too. Looks like as well, just while we're saying this, they've rotated around all the way to the other side. There was a nice sticky trap on this pillar that did manage to drop Doge last time we were on this map. It looks like they did clear that though. This time it's not going to happen again, but he's just rotated right back around for this choke, and they're just sort of throwing him at choke points and seeing if he can get anything. No one's really peeking, no one's giving him any sort of opportunity for that. Oh, except for Enrith actually does get domed. Unfortunately, nothing happening there either. Hertz seeing if he can push his luck there, doesn't really get anything. Dies for his trouble. He may come off another off class. Sam is actually trying to feed as well a little bit here, seeing if he can break through. And it was just a distraction as Yule goes in for a big bomb, although Locke is being really, really well protected. Can't really get anything there. There's a lot of damage actually coming in on the Demo Man through this choke, but his scouts are really close, ready to protect him. Everyone's getting a little antsy as they're trying to walk through these chokes here and see if they can get anything to happen, but it's still one down on each team, and it looks like things are settling down a little bit with Riot still on this sniper, Graham.
Ed. Well, you'd like to see him hit something here, see what he can work. Sam posturing over on the left hand side. Thought he might actually catch Hertz out there, but it is very slow pace right now. We're getting some area for Riot to peek through. Enrith might walk right into that crosshair.
Yeah, but while this is happening, we do have Rocky up on Spy. He does seem to be disguised as a friendly player, just sort of see if anyone can sort of peek through that. And that is another dome from Riot onto Enrith there, but Rocky is in behind. This is the old classic sideshow play. They won't expect it 3 times in a row. But he's actually in a fairly good position, but both scouts are checking for him right now. They are suspecting something. Oh no, Riot has seen him there. He can't get anything done. He gets cleaned up really quickly. They're so spy-aware right now. They're not letting anything get through themselves. And Riot is just, again, seeing if he can get through this choke. But the spam is too much. Yule is through, trying to do what he can. Enrith making really low. And that is a nice shot from Riot to follow that up. But they do lose 3 in the process. Down on each team, actually, as Sam and Cookie flood through. And this all has gone so badly for Big Chungus. That is 322 seconds of stalemate that we have seen fall down as Locke unfortunately drops his entire team, forcing them to fall all the way back to last with full Uber disad, Graham.
Yeah, that was devastating. I saw 3 players go down on coffee clock, and I'm like, all right, okay. They tried to push it, it failed. Wait a second, everyone's dying on Big Chungus. Wait a second. Like, Locke's, like, he's dropping everybody. How come he's not popping? Oh, he popped too late. Like, I was so devastated. Like, you thought there was a window. You thought that was a fight that they were going to win. But all of a sudden, turned on its dome. The bad pop, and now that's full Uber ad coming right in here. Sentry gun, it's down. Heavy needs to be killed pretty quickly as well. They're backing them all off the spawn, though there's room for them to start capping. They need to start finding some of these kills. They're going the way of the defense, and now there's pressure right on this point. A few players left alive. It's a 2v3, but they are going to be kills. Rocky finds a pair right from above.
Oh, this arrow.
He stops on the point. Oh
my god.
Oh my god.
Doge
it is
staying in and rocketing Riot, arrowing Riot there was huge. He looks like he's going to win this fight. Oh, but the respawn has come in just in time, and Rocky's so low, and Doge has stayed so far forward to protect him. Looks like he's going to unfortunately die for that. That play so close to paying off. So close to paying off. Nice arrows from Doge to keep his soldier alive there. Unfortunately, they do lose, and this looks like it's going to be a fair bit of Uber advantage on the side of Big Chungus here. They do manage to get out. That's Sam losing his life as he's trying to
Yule.
sort of stay a little bit in there. Where's Yule? What's Yule doing?
On the bat cap, but Rocky, he is the rocket god. He manages to find that kill. They're committing though. Riot is also going to be caught down by a nice air shot arrow from Locke. Be able to find a few more kills in this choke point. They're trying to fall away. Down goes down as well as Cookie.
Yeah, that's not the frag you want to see when you have that sniper up on Sam. Sam is actually holding through this choke, sort of spamming some shots. Unfortunately, nothing there. Rocky has got through for free. He's seeing if he can hit any sort of god shot on him as he jumps forward here. But he's not slowing down. He's going through this flank. No, he's seen 2 soldiers there and does change his mind. This is a really excellent turnaround from the side of Big Chungus here, as they have reset this to full Uber ad. Oh, but no! That is 96% Uber, I should say, getting absolutely domed by Sam. Sam hits those. You don't trust that. Sam absolutely reversing this situation as it's now full Uber on the side of Doge, and they're walking through. Enrith forced right back off this point, but Lau and Rocky on the flank. They're going to see if they can get something happening here, and that is the backup coming in. Rocky and Lau both cleaning up Riot behind, and this has turned disastrous for them as this backup is so strong. Standing behind those pillars there, looks like Lau actually jumps off the point to try to help his friend instead of capping there. That's, oh no. Doge taken down really, really low into the choke, but looks like they're going to start capping this again, and that back cap attempt has failed miserably, and they're still fighting this with 2 down, which is really interesting to see. They do eventually decide to back out there, and that was nearly a really clutch play from the flank of Big Chungus there, Dreamboat.
I'd also just like to point out, someone in Twitch chat said, why do they have Riot sniping instead of Sam? And Sam, well, he goes very nicely. Careful though, bomb coming in right up above, does so much damage, and it does get the force. Uber had to be used. Doge keeping himself alive and his team. They are going to be able to cap through with ease. That is an expensive tool to have off the field for this last push. There is full Uber for Locke. They try and push out, although they do have a heavy.
Yeah, with this kind of high-risk situation, it's, you know, playoffs game, all this kind of stuff, it does look like they're actually getting off these off-classes and seeing if they can push, so they are opting to risk it here rather than parking the bus. There is 20 minutes left, so they should make a move, I feel, because there is time to rectify any mistakes should they happen. Hertz is jumping on the flank here. Sam is staying really aggressive, trying to force, but Locke doesn't force to that as he has his whole team right around him. Everyone is collapsing for this force. This is 3 down on the side of red team, and they managed to get second without using. When you sack 3 players and don't get that force, that's a signal that they're going to lose mid 2, and that's only going to even up to the second point. This is looking pretty dire for a coffee clock here, Graham.
Yeah, they are going to be running with their tail between their legs. The good news is despite not getting that force unlocked, that's what they were looking for. Uber advantage is gone. Yeah, they grabbed 2 points, sure, but now you at least have the full Uber up on this hold, and you can potentially win the trade, potentially keep it going, and, you know, we are also only 1 round into this game.
Yeah, we've seen several reversals, several failed Ubers, and several key picks that have turned this around, so it is still anyone's game right now, even though they are reset onto this second. There is actually quite a lot of aggression through both of these flanks as Hertz gets cleaned up by Riot and Sam, and Rocky gets cleaned up by Yule and Cookie on the other side, and that is triggering the retreat from Big Chungus as there is some stickies on the field, some stickies in play, although he does det them just as I say that. And that is, Cookie going down to that det, but the force comes into Sam in the rear. Sam is in such a good position to force that, and they're all the way out without using. Some excellent communication there for Doge's positioning there. Sam is still behind, does manage to trade with Rocky before Hertz kills him in the end, and that is only 1 down on the side of blue team. They look like they're trying to force this Uber while they still can. Hertz gets absolutely crushed out of the air by some pipe/rockets from Riot and Redcoat there. And they are forced to back all the way out, and now this is full ad with all of their players spawning. Looks like they're going to see if they can make a move. Looks like they're going through this cave area, actually, through the left. They get so much ground for free, but they are forced due to that height disad. Rocky still playing behind, and Hertz still playing behind. Doesn't look like they can get any frags with that Uber. They're all over the point, but 2 soldiers are behind doing that. Hertz looks like he may get cleaned up in the rear. Hertz, does he get that pack? No, he does get cleaned up in the rear there. Rocky is making some havoc on point. He does lose his life though, but the Uber is up on lock, and they need to force this or get out right now because they are very, very low health. Yule loses his life, still no force. Lock does eventually use as he sees he's right in the face there. Only just manages to save down his scout there, as he does manage to drop Lau, as he was very, very low forward, and Riot is in such a good position to cut them off in that choke as they do back out, and that is Lock and Down, both losing their lives for that point, and no forward spawns either. Hertz trying to do his best at some sort of salvation play, and now the second point is falling with such sizable ad, Graham.
Doge won that fight, without a doubt, right? I think 2 or 3 points in time was down into heavy red HP. 2 huge arrows, kept alive. There was nothing that Down could do to even find a kill. Just because of those arrows, they were so strong. Like that, this is such a great spot for them to be, and they should surely win this round. I mean, they've got the full Uber. They're coming in here, flying in right into the Pyro, though. They need to find these kills. The gun is finally down. They need to find something else. Down goes Pair, and this should be it. They need to continue to clean up, and they're getting raided. Medic has gone. Ender's in trouble as well, and this will be the first round of this upper page playoff.
Yeah, that was a really clinical push. As much as they did push from that same spot before, and Rocky knew that on the Pyro, and he was standing there ready to cut that flank off, there was just way too much damage. That Uber lasted too long, and they couldn't do anything. And as you say, that is round 1 on the board. As we head into this next mid, why don't you take us through this next mid, Graham?
All right, and they're a little bit faster than Red, just trying to throw some stickies around. He took a lot of damage in the last mid. He's definitely avoided that here. And churning out some good one, but now the double bomb's coming in. Yule and Riot trying to get over the top, trying to find any damage, but it's the kills going on their own teammates. They're all falling, and now it is just Doge trying to escape. Down, he's gonna be pressuring very quickly on the scout, trying to get right in there. Will it be able to get the kill? You better believe it. Surely. Oh, in the surf, but it's not enough. Down finds Doge, and that is a full wipe on mid.
Yeah, that was the exact same mid that they played before, and it looked like Big Chungus was just like, we know what to do to counter this, and they sent everyone right into the combo, and they just weren't ready, and they got absolutely cleaned up while those 2 soldiers were behind. Unfortunately, not really doing anything, as they kind of aced that with no casualties on their side, and they're right and ready to push this last. As you see, Down is sort of standing at this new window into last, which is just providing him with so much information. He can see the off classes, he can see what's happening through that window, and as this team has all this time ready to make the right play here, they are ready to go really quickly. So they've seen it, and they've decided to use him through main here due to their information that they've had. But that sentry gun got moved when he stopped looking there. The gun does go down, but this is very disastrous. This is not a great push. Down is playing the point, but he's such low health and he can't do anything. Yeah, and that gun being moved really ruined that Uber there. Everyone who jumped in there just expected the gun to be in a different location and just got absolutely farmed by it. And then the collapse was just way too strong from Coffee Clock there, as they do take this second point 100% for free, with very large ad heading towards this midpoint. 5 up, or now 6 up on the side of blue team. Looks like they're going to try to hold it until these Ubers come into play, but that was a disastrous push into last Dreamboat.
Yeah, it was just a wee bit catastrophic, and that's the thing. With the window, it's a double-edged sword. You can obviously see through, you got a ton of info, but if you're spotted out like you, because I know there's the force coming through. Rocky just got right in on Doge. Doge has to pop. That is massive. That is absolutely everything for Big Chungus here.
Yeah, it looks like they're still going to try to push this while Big Chungus are 2 down, though, and it looks like, yeah, this speed, unfortunately, they lost no one, and they do lose Yule as he's quite far forward, but it looks like this scout should get traded. No, the scout doesn't get traded. Down wins a 1v1 against Enrith and, against the 2 soldiers in Riot and Yule. I'm not sure where I got Enrith from. I think I saw him in the kill feed. But yes, that was really well done from Down, shutting down all of that aggression, and they're forced to back right out. Yeah, this is Big Chungus's mid. Looks like pretty much for free. There's no even attempt to see if they can force Lock here. He's playing really safe, expecting that attempt, but then no position. That Sniper is peeking through choke, though, in Riot. Riot has spawned Sniper again. Unfortunately, can't quite get the sight line due to all of that spam there. Looks like Lock is having trouble with the ramp on mid. Those logs are obviously a little too hard for Medic Main's brains just there. I know I can't walk up them either. But we do see this full Uber ad reset, as we've seen before, on mid to second, and as we've seen, this one can last a little while. Do you reckon Big Chungus is just going to send some sacks in, or do you think this is going to be based off Riot's sniper ability right now, Dreamboat?
I think they will be sending a sack in right there. Rocky's cleaned up. And the thing is, I mean, you can rely a little bit on sniper, sure, but I'd rather see the sack play come in at least off the bat. Their soldiers have had fairly decent success, especially Hyce, with that force and that last engagement. So I'd like to see them kind of continue the sack game for a little bit and see if they can't make it work. They don't need to be that worried. I mean, they've got 11.5 minutes left. They just need one round to tie it up. So I don't think there's any panic. We'll see.
Yeah, Riot's hitting some shots already. He's hit a couple of domes, but unfortunately nothing's come of it. He's just standing on the second point here, on the log pile of second point, seeing if he can shoot anything that sort of peaks this choke. Looks like Enrith is trying to make a move, trying to peak this choke. But yeah, nothing coming for him, unfortunately, here. This new window is actually offering him quite an interesting sightline, seeing what he can look at there. Unfortunately, there's no one really peeking that. Ooh, as I say that, it was Hyce actually jumping through, got domed, and then cratered, or got fully charged body shot even, and then cratered there. Looks like they're setting up for a counter-sack play, seeing if they can get Riot into an exciting angle while Hyce is down on the flank. They do change their mind though, and they just rotate really quickly back to choke. So there's a little bit more of nothing happening right now, Graham.
Oh, I mean, some point something will have to give. Hyce is up on sniper, playing right into Riot. I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes when you have a sniper that's hitting shots on that backside, negates your soldiers, you got to do something to try and deal with it. Hyce on sniper is the man they're trying it with. I'm not sure it's the right solution, but
The last
last
game we casted with Riot, with Hyce sniping, he absolutely farmed everyone. And that being said, Riot does get domed instantly by him. They know he's there. Oh, he does lose his life to some nice stickies from Redcoat, spamming him out there, taking everyone actually a little bit low, and they're forced to back all the way out there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hyce comes back up on sniper here, because yeah, Riot does already. I reckon the play is to set Hyce back up on sniper. The last time we saw this, they were pushing into last with full Uberad, and Hyce was still stuck on sniper, and Hyce domed everyone. He fragged like 4 people as they were pushing into last, so I'm really keen to see this. Hyce has actually changed his mind and gone spy, negating everything that I've said here. He might just be checking for some off classes in spawn. No, yeah, he does change his mind back to sniper. Awesome. So I wasn't just wasting everyone's time. He is on this sniper class, and I'm keen for some really, really excellent aim play coming out of Hyce tonight. Looks like he's just...
Hyce isn't going to hit anything. I'll tell you how this works. You're a caster, you know this. Whenever you say something's the case, it doesn't happen. So Hyce is going to miss everything, which means he's probably going to get like a 6K right here. So, yeah, Hyce, you know, I think it's questionable. I don't think he's going to hit anything, and I'm hoping he shuts me up, because I'd love to see a 6 sniper clip right now when he was running straight forward. He might die, he lives. The Hyce who lives come to die.
But yeah, I mean, I do get the caster's curse here, and it does look like Riot is anticipating them rotating through this left log room from the defender's perspective. One scout kind of showed his head. Nothing really happening there, and that is Riot winning the sniper 1v1 this time. Rocky's forward to see if he can stop him walking really aggressive here. Does change his mind. Nothing really happening there, and he's waiting for these stickies to be cleared before he goes for something else, I think. Hopefully we see a little bit more aggression, as Hyce has opted to come up soldier this time. The sniper wasn't working. They're going to see if he can get through on the soldier here to see if that's going to be a little bit more effective, as Riot does just come up sniper again.
That's the thing is, I mean, this is all just kind of playing in the coffee clock right now, because they have no onus to do anything. They're waiting on big chungus, and as long as they're taking longer plays like that, sniper can just keep coming up. This is much better, though. They're going for the double bomb. They get so close. They don't manage to find enough damage on Doge. Now they're actually going to try and force the aggression forward. The problem is Riot's on sniper. This hinders them a little bit, as long as he's not hitting shots. However, these 2 players on point are going to get pinched. Enrith and the Uber is actually forced out because of it. This is an awkward exchange, but they need to start finding some damage. They've done a good job making Big Chungus flash, and they do need to fall right out. So flies forward, but I think he's giving his life away. Got a crater in the end, and this might actually be a hold. This is working out perfectly, but no, the kills need to come through. Positioning has all fallen. Coffee Clock need to back away. This was perfect for Big Chungus.
Yeah, I was going to praise Redcoat's move. Sorry, not Redcoat's movement. Doja's movement, staying alive as those two soldiers came in there. But at the same time, I should praise Locke's movement for surviving at the end of that Uber with an Ubered scout right in his face, basically down to quite low HP there, towards like 50s-ish, towards the end of that fight, but hitting some nice arrows to keep his team alive and kicking, and indeed winning that fight as the trades all went favorably their way in that. And it is still pretty even Ubers. Looks like Hertz is seeing if he can check for some off classes. No, he's all the way out actually. He's committing to this spy play as well. As these Ubers even up, we see Sam on the off class of Engineer. We see Cookie on Pyro. Cookie's doing a little bit of spy checking himself, but he's on the wrong side of the map right now as Hertz is coming in above him. Ooh, Hertz actually does get absolutely destroyed by Riot.
He walks into a spam rocket. And it's just like, all right, well that's it. All right.
Yeah, so
basically the quintessential Hertz spy play. Could be worse. Could be like Paulson on spy, but you know.
Yeah, and I don't think anything could be that bad.
I've seen some pretty good copy pastas out there in Twitch chat about the Paulson spy, so it was worth mentioning.
Hertz is changing his off class to sniper actually, and I do think Riot is in spawn checking that out too. Yeah, he should know that Hertz is sniping right now. There we go. He's checking it off as you go. Hertz up sniper. This is where he farmed before. He hit some amazing shots coming up onto this to this left side. So here's to him not doing it again, and absolutely nothing happening after I've mentioned it here. Lau clearing the stickies for him, seeing if they can make some of this space. But these off classes are looking really strong, and these new boxes that the medic can stand behind on last kind of shut down this sniper quite heavily here. Hertz looks like he may actually get taken out. Yeah, Riot is not having any of that, and Hertz does lose his life. They're sort of moving forward a little bit, seeing if they can find something. Cookie on this Pyro is walking quite far forward, seeing if he can get anything. It looks like the duel on the flank is going down a little bit, but they do opt to back all the way out of lobby, but there's no real pushing coming out here, and it's up to Hertz to come up another off class, see what he's going to do here. Looks like he does opt to come up Soldier, and they're just going to do a straight cookie cutter push into this at some point, Graham.
Yeah, and Riot is just spy checking right now, I believe. That would make sense. Unless he's going for the hero play. Yeah, he's definitely just spy checking. Here's the thing though, I like this because they need to start moving. The time is starting to dwindle. There's 4.5 minutes left in this first map of the upper page playoffs. They need to make something work. They need to have a couple attempts at a push. If this one's unsuccessful and the Uber's super early and it's into a Pyro, this is incredibly detrimental. They haven't killed anything. They may actually give everything away. Oh my lord. You have a window to scout. They should have known there was a Pyro, and instead they walk right into it.
Yeah, I feel that they thought we need to get more than one round here. 4 minutes is the time to do it. We got to take this trade. We got the sentry gun. I imagine that was the thinking that was going down. They don't really lose anything else apart from their Uber ad here. Looks like they're going to see if they can hold this, hopefully get a force on Doge as they do try to push out. And then see if they can go for some sort of crazy back cap plays, as it does look like Hertz and stuff are in the drop down area, seeing if they can find anything. And he is actually quite forward in lobby, and it does look like the Doge has opted not to push. Yeah, this is Sam setting up his gun again, and they're doing the safe turtle play here. They're not going to give them the chance.
That's the sound of the bus backing up. I think it's being parked right now on this last point.
Yeah, these off classes are really strong, and they're just going to wait for these Ubers to even out again. Hertz, seeing if he can kill this gun, does actually manage to, which is good, and the point is being played. Lau is actually on that point. He gets so much cap time. That is crazy, and the stickies are all being forced there, and that actually manages to force the Uber out from Doge. Rocky does lose his life, but now this is the driving seat right now for Locke and his team here, as Locke has this full ad. They're going to wait for Hertz, Lau, and Rocky to respawn. Looks like they're going to sort of have the game forced to them a little bit here, but they're ready to come back in. Cookie playing this point. The spawns are coming in now. They shouldn't get this point. Yeah, recapped. Looks like a soldier's going to lose his life as well, as he actually does manage to get the force. They drop Enrith really, really quickly. This is kind of disastrous. The Uber is going to fade before they can get anywhere near last. One consolation is that Sam is on scout, so that there's no 7th player up on here. But this, they are actually having to force it here. Hertz is taken down really low. Doge is actually taken down really low by Hertz, and it's down just playing the point. And the cap time comes through. Down floats a player off the point so that he can't land and caps. And that is 1-1 in this upper page playoffs with 2 minutes left. This is still doable. Either that or we go to our first golden cap of what is probably going to be a very long night, Dreamboat.
What the hell was that? How did... What? What? Alright, here's mid. Redcoat and Enrith exchanging spam after a round was stolen. Highway robbery. And we'll see if Big Chungus can follow it up. They're bombing forward. Hurts balls. But down and Enrith have found a pair of kills. They're making this work a little bit, and they have forced players back. Now the re-engagement is starting to become fourth. 4 coffee clock, but positioning so bad. Riot will fall, and mid has gone to Big Chungus. Both meds are alive. There is a window for them to keep moving forward. There's a minute 37 left here. Xander, do you really think they can do this? Is there a window?
I definitely think you can do this. Hertz is actually up on Spy right now. I don't know if he's committed out of spawn. Yes, he has. He is definitely committed out of spawn. This is the play that needs to work. If Hertz drops Doge with this stab, then they are ready to go in and make a move really, really quickly. So it looks like everyone's waiting for this Hertz play right now, as he is starting to get into position in this lobby area. Off class of Sam on heavy. They are trying to turtle this last, but this is 1 minute left on the time, and Hertz is in. Hertz is in. Hertz is right next to Doge. This is the play. If this works, this game goes to them. And the decloak happens. Unfortunately, Cookie's seen it. But Doge is forced anyway. They only lose 2 for this force, and now they're on 100% ad all the way out of lobby. They have just enough time to wait for their spawners, but if this doesn't happen, if this play can't work, then it goes to this golden cap. But in the last 40 seconds, they have 5 seconds to their spawners, another 5 seconds for them to get here. This is 30 seconds to push. If this push works, this map and the first map of our upper page playoffs will go towards them. That's Yulball, that's Enrith. Lau going down too. Oh no, this is really disastrous. The scouts are going to go for their play as they can. They force through, but these Sticky's dead, forcing them backwards here. Unfortunately, no one is focusing these players. Sam does go down. Rocky does help him with that. And now the players are coming onto the point. The Cookie Pyro is taken down really, really low, and this is Locke trying to play the point. Looks like it's going to be a little bit too little too late. Oh, Redcoat nearly cleaning himself up with that own debt. 2 seconds left. There's nothing left to do, and this first map goes to a golden cap, Graham.
Hey man, I signed up for a long night. I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for this. And this is everything I could have asked for, and then some. The fact we're going to a golden cap on map 1. Golden cap on Logjam. Words I didn't think I'd be saying in 2019. What a glorious year it is.
Yeah, I mean, there was just some, like, fantastic play from everyone on this server. This was really, really exciting to see. Just before we do sort of have a look at any logs here, I want to see if we can bring in my man, Hyce. Are you still around, Hyce?
I'm still here, Xander. I'm still here.
What did you think of that excellent showcase of your map tonight?
There was a lot of awesome plays that went on. I do want to talk about one thing that I was watching was the window. There's a lot of discussion about the window. I've heard a lot of things about the window being one of the changes from last season. Obviously, you saw really, really good use by some top teams on both sides with the window tonight of, hey, we got our sentry here, you know, and they peeked, they saw the sentry. Okay, that's what the sentry is. Here we go. Let's go bomb. And they moved the sentry and caught them all out by it. So the part of the design of the window was, yes, you've got a window. Yes, you can easily sit there, see everything you can see in the windows. But it takes you so long to rotate to any door to actually push in that so many changes can happen from when you were looking in that window that the entire game can change. So it's really exciting to see top teams kind of using that and abusing that. So it was awesome.
Yeah, well, that's one of the big changes that we have definitely talked about a lot, is that window as well. We did see quite a few mid to second stalemates. I feel that's common with any 5CP map. I don't think there was anything necessarily Logjam specific about any of those stalemates. Do you have anything to add before we head into talking about some of these logs here, Hyce?
No, nothing else to add. I mean, I'm wondering if there's anything else I could do to help smooth out the map or make the stalemates less common, but yeah.
I mean, if you listen to Riot, yeah, if you listen to Riot, it's that clipping and choke. He wants to be able to do his Tempest bombs in.
That is on my shit list. That clipping on choke is on my list. It's been a hot topic for a long time, and I've tried about a million different things, and we'll get it right one of these days.
I'm sure Riot is going to be very pleased to hear that. All right, we may as well head in and talk about a few of these logs. Dreamboat, do you have these logs right in front of you? As we do see already up really quick. Who stands out to you really quick before we head into this golden cap, Dreamboat?
I don't have logs open. This is terrifying.
Okay, fantastic. Let's head into this second mid. This is the first mid of our golden cap. Remember, golden cap is no time limit. It's based on whoever caps first. So, we do see Enrith actually arriving really quickly, and that is some excellent damage onto Redcoat, eating 3 stickies. Just manages to get the pack in time. So Enrith doing a lot of work for his team right now, as he's really aggressive all the way over the point. They see the same soldier aggression here. Oh, and that's Lau and Down and Rocky going forward. They were ready for that play. That bomb faked out really hard, and they turned around and they were ready for that collapse, and they just piped the crap out of those scouts that were coming right at them, and that play has gone really far south in the big Chungus playbook. Sam doing what he can, seeing if he can outsmart Enrith there, but unfortunately nothing coming of it, and this is the first mid going the way of Coffee Clock, Graham.
Yeah, very strong mid from them, and I'm a little surprised because when Enrith arrived that much before anybody else in the server, I was like, all right, this is easy game, easy life. Enrith's just gonna pound them into submission. Didn't happen. A little bit surprised by that. Really
He did
good
deal
resilience by Coffee Clock.
loads of damage. I feel that it was just that double soldier bomb that they've been running every mid. Kind of just got turned around. They go, all right, let's go for it. Let's bait them forward. And then they turned around in midair and landed on top of the players that were forwarding. And that was just like a long brain moment, which I was very pleased to see. And all those players who were running forwards to say, oh, these players they're too down, they're behind us, just farm them right now. They just landed on their heads and lost. And this is Hertz going for a really aggressive bomb in towards the choke. Does actually manage to win that duel with Riot and live on 6 HP in the very end, going for that cap. Rocky's going to jump through, see if he can make anything happen. Looks like he's getting absolutely shut down. He just chooses to turn tail and run away. There. Enrith is actually taken down a little bit low there as well during some of that spam. Hertz is going to go for something a little cheeky on that flank, but he runs into the whole combo of Coffee Clock as they take this log room onto the left from the defender's perspective. They do manage to clean up Hertz, but there's no, at the moment, no countersack coming in, as we do see Riot already up on his sniper class. Hertz in spawn checking for that, so they should be aware that there is a sniper coming out, although he does actually commit out on this spy. This is like, I don't know if this is going to be like some sideshow dribble. They won't expect it for the 5th time, but you never know. He may not get caught out like an idiot this time, as he is right in front of them. I don't know, he did seem to take some chip damage there possibly, so they may know, but he is in a really good location actually right now behind this house. No one can see him, as he is kind of peeking around a little bit, seeing if he can get any info for his team. They know Riot's on the sniper. They know that he's sort of trying to go for any sort of cheeky plays there, as he is actually quite forward in this cave area. Hertz is really far forward. He's right behind the medic. The medic moves. Unfortunately, he has to settle for Yule, but he does stab Yule right in front of a sticky trap, and unfortunately trades instantly, and that is Rocky and Hertz down. And Riot domes Enrith as they're pushing through, and this has turned disastrous for Big Chungus, as they have to fall back all the way out. Down, taken down really low as well. They do manage to save this Uber for last, but there's another 8 seconds on their Demo Man spawning. Looks like if they're really quick, they can get in without this Demo Man. Doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. Cookie's seeing what he can do. Oh, Riot is still sniping right now and does manage to dome Rocky. They know that he's going to go for this forward aggression here, and Hertz is spamming him off really, really quick. They know that there's a gun now. They know that Lau's up on this gun. And they are sort of fingering around, seeing if they can find any sort of gaps in this impenetrable defense here. And there is just a little bit of space that hopefully Riot will make the most out of here, Dreamboat.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rocky was just a little lackadaisical, just kind of caught with his pants down a little bit by that sniper. He is back though, A-okay. See if they're able to make anything work. Right, peeking out with the snipe, gets cleaned up, and now here's the thing. Rocky in behind, he's got the butter knife out and the pistol, and that's really not the sign of a successful spy play when you're butter knifing.
Yeah,
Not a very effective knife. It's a very fat knife, not very sharp.
Good for spreading butter on toast though, which is
yeah.
very good. Love me some buttered toast. Unfortunately, Rocky didn't toast anyone before he tried to butter it, and it kind of didn't work. We do see a little bit of a reset. Rocky up on this spy. I imagine just checking for some off classes in spawn, but it looks like there's no off classes on the red team. They're happy to take their time. There is no time limit here. They can beef as many pushes as they want, but they want to set up this push to be as good as they can. They're sort of seeing if Riot can spam this gun. Looks like Riot is getting spammed out at the same time. Does manage to get out though, and the gun does lose its life for that. They may see if they can go in for some sort of trade here. Sam at the window knows this gun is being set right up again. But while it's down, actually, these soldiers are trying to get in, and there's so much. Riot is doing so much there. Yule and Riot, unfortunately, do lose their lives as the Pyro class exists. They do force red team. They force a coffee clock all the way back out of this lobby area as they are walking back towards their own choke after that double bomb doesn't get anything, unfortunately, Graham.
And they're actually moving out quite comfortably here, grabbing a lot of space. But here's the thing. They either need to get this force or back out. They can't afford to drop players. Viewers popped out here. They need to keep everyone alive. Pop comes out after. This gives them an opportunity to have the better Uber. But they need to start condensing. Looks like they'll be able to grab the point A-OK. That will be just fine. I was worried there, though. Could have gotten really hairy for Big Chungus.
Yeah, it's a good strategy there for the red team to try to trade Ubers on the second, because like worst thing happens, you lose the mid, but you can then restabilize on the second. But they could have, you know, if anything went their way in that fight, they could have easily disrupted that second player as they were trading in there. So that was really good play. And the worst, you know, all that's happened now is that we have the same mid to second stalemate that we've had quite a lot before. And these guys have been, you know, butting heads at this choke for quite a while. I'm sure they know what to do to try to break it here. As these Ubers do come up on both teams, it looks like the two soldiers are going for a really quick bomb as the scouts are coming in here. And this is everyone coming forward as the trades do come in, and this is a really awkward exchange as Doge and the demo and Riot and Yule and Sam lose their life. It's just Cookie left behind in this choke now. He was in the cave area. He's seeing what he can do, but that was disastrous for Coffee Clock, Graham.
That was a cheeky push, but when you're trying to retreat out of a choke point and Enrith's there, he is literally going to do things that are illegal in most states. And he did. He absolutely pounded, did so much damage. It was pretty much for you. But Riot is in on lock, but he... Oh, wow. Just saves him in the nick of time. Yule's coming in from above, trying to get in there. Lock will be A-OK for now, but Cookie is jumping around and he gets the kill. Cookie lives forever. Now there is no medic. 3 down, sure, but the health is quite poor on Big Chungus, and Cookie may have just saved this golden cap.
Sacking 3 for one medic there is quite risky, because they're, you know, you pushing out of last is a risk on this golden cap. It was like if they hadn't walked into that sticky trap by Redcoat there, they would definitely have pushed and taken that round. It was that sticky trap got everyone to like 30 HP, which is what really saved that push. Because even though they collapsed on their medic there, it was everyone walking into that trap, which unfortunately lost it for them. Doge is actually really far forward. They do manage to clean the players up coming towards him. Rocky and Hertz are actually... Hertz is on the spy. He's going for this back cap. Unfortunately, everyone can smell him coming from a long way away, and he just gets absolutely crushed. And they do actually manage to successfully push out on this golden cap round.
He's not communist. He's not that smelly.
Yeah, we do see this mid point actually being fought here while they were still one player down in the sack there. Enrith loses his life, but Doge is forced by Rocky. Excellent timing as Rocky comes in behind there, but they do actually manage to clean up 3 players really, really quickly. Hertz loses his life almost instantly. Lock does get cleaned up as well. Lau does manage to save something and trade for the pocket in the very, very end of that messy fight. He looks like he may push his luck a little bit. No, he just goes for the pack and runs away. This mid is definitely gone their favor now, and with lockdown, this is now 25% add on the side of Doge, and this is looking like they can really convert this one, Dreamboat.
Yeah, well, we've said that before. We've said they've had opportunities, they've had the chance, they've had the push that could do it, and it hasn't worked out. Here they are starting to inch their way forward, trying to pressure out these players on Big Chungus, and they're actually just going to fully retreat. There were only 3 players there for Coffee Clock, but Big Chungus just said, no, like, we're just going to eat this point. We're going to sit back. We're going to hope like hell we can hold.
Yeah, and this is still Uber out on their side, so they're ready to go, but there is off classes on Lao engineered down Putus. There's no Pyro coming up just yet, which I think could be a mistake, as they are gearing up to push this. Yeah, the Uber is popped in. Gun is being focused down by Redcoat here, but the medic is standing in a really safe position. Looks like he's going to get his Uber up. They do manage to use that just in time, so he just gets and pops almost instantly. Riot, Yule both get cleaned up. Redcoat as well gets cleaned up, but Doge knew that that was the way this fight was going to go, and he's already really far back in their choke. Sam going to go for something a little cheeky there. Nothing really coming of that, as it is Doge and Cookie just grinding this Uber right back. Because they used so late, this is translated to about 20 ad. I think looks like they're going to play it as if it's even, though, as Riot does seem to come up sniper, and they are trying to push this really aggressive. Yeah, this is big Chungus' push.
This is so great, the off-mover push, but Riot, he gets a shot on down. I will drop the scout, and now they might actually have to think about backing out. There's the bombs coming forward. They're actually overstaying their welcome. This could be really awkward. It could be really bad, but Rocky in behind kills the medic. That is huge, and that's 95% Uber down. Luck will get traded the other way. That was the savior on that play. They way overstayed their welcome, though.
Just managing to get the medic at the end there. Doge was moving so well as Soldier and Scout, like, they all sacked for Doge there, and it was just the one player who managed to get in behind there who did eventually settle that. But this is even Ubers, and they did lose second. That is the saving grace of that fight, but yeah, that was just so confident from Doge and the rest of Coffee Clock, just staying in that position, knowing that Doge can wiggle like a madman, and just, yeah, unfortunately too many players. You can't protect yourself from a 6-man sack there, unfortunately, as it was just Sam and the medic who did lose their lives. Riot is still up on this sniper, seeing if he can push his luck with sort of any play here, as he's sort of seeing if he can get in towards this lobby, but they are just opting to wait until both of these Ubers come up. Hertz checking for these off classes in spawn. He knows Riot is still on sniper. Nothing else to really speak of, and he does change back onto this Soldier really quickly, and this does seem to be another even Uber's last hold, and we have basically seen a whole bunch of back and forth to end right back in the exact same position that we saw. The gun is up in the same spot. We don't have a Putus, but we do have down on Pyro instead. What needs to change? What needs to happen with this last push for Coffee Clock if they want to take this one, Dreamboat?
Well, for one, they've done a really good job of getting the gun down. That's been a great start. The problem is they're not focusing the same targets afterwards. They're dividing, but they're not conquering, if that makes sense.
That is a very deft way of putting it. I like that.
Basically, they do a lot of damage. A lot of people get low, but they don't kill anything, and they start dropping players. A little bit better focus fire out of them would pretty much win some of these fights. There was at least that one push where they had issues dealing with the Pyro. Maybe something to focus, but they're being very hesitant. They're letting Riot set up and see if he can do anything on this sniper right now.
Yeah, nothing really happening right now. As we do see Sam just looking at this window, seeing if he can see anything going. We do see some soldiers trading damage, as Rocky does just choose to back right out for this to Reese up there, as he takes just that little bit of damage. Nothing really happening. They have all the time in the world to push this. Hertz does get quite forward and sees if he can sort of get anything there. Does hit quite a lot of damage onto Sam, but there's nothing going here, as we do sort of see again another reset. I'd love to see some sort of sack or some sort of aggressive sniper peek right about now. Just like something exciting to happen would be fantastic, Graham. Oh, and I say that, and that is Rocky getting domed, as Riot is quite forward on this left-hand side from the attacker's perspective, and Hertz is there ready to shut him out. Oh, but Riot domes Enrith too, and that looks like it's going to be the signal for a sack in there, and then it does finally get this gun down, and they're playing the point. Cookie gets so much cap time. These Ubers are traded right in the end. When there's so much cap time here, this may come into play really quickly here, as the Ubers on both teams fade, and Cookie is doing so much on this point. If he gets down here, and that is the round. That is some excellent point play by those scouts. I'm really happy to see such good point play coming in on that last, because it is the objective after all. This is your first map of this best of 3, falling the way of Coffee Clock in a very close fashion, Graham.
Oh my lord. What an ending there. I mean, the fact that we went the distance. Don't go anywhere, folks. That was just one map. we have another 2 potential to go. Logjam in the books. Coffee Clock take it 2-1. We have a whole another Snakewater to do. Gully Wash as well, potentially. The onus on that is if we want to go to Gully, it's up to Big Chungus. What do they bring out on Snakewater? But this series could be an absolute banger that goes the entire distance.
Yeah, well, I mean, judging by the closeness of this game that we saw just then, such like coordinated play coming out of Coffee Clock is the only thing that won them that just at the very end, as that push was just so clinical based on those headshots from Riot there. But yeah, this was this was so close. I reckon we could end up going to all 3 maps here, maybe even golden caps on a couple of other ones as well. It's yeah, I think this is still anyone's game. For me, my favorite heading into the next map is definitely Coffee Clock, just because I think they have that team play experience, but just the raw DM on the other team in players like Down, Rocky, Enrith, Lau, Hertz, like they're all such good DM players. I think it could still go either way. That being said, let's have a quick look at some of these logs. Do you have any type of log up in front of you right now, Dreamboat?
That is a good reminder. Logs are a thing. I have them now, I think.
Do you have golden cap logs or normal round logs?
This appears to be golden cap I have in front of me here. And oh dear lord, Cookie went 11-2-1. Is that real? Is that the world we're living in?
Cookie got Ubered like 3 times in that thing. I think that's probably why you see such good stats. Cookie not dying because he's shiny all the time is like, you know, if you're shiny, you don't die. But that's what you expect to see out of like the top pocket scouts at the moment here, is they are just surviving with their medic all the time. And when you have a scout as good as Cookie and when you have a med as strong as Doge, that synergy there, it means just Cookie doesn't die and Doge dies very, very little as well.
I feel bad for Locke too. I feel like Locke was kind of hung out to dry by his team at times. There was just that little bit less synergy that you mentioned maybe being an issue. We'll see if they can tighten that up on Snakewater. Here's the thing. I mean, it is Logjam. It's a map that teams didn't play as much. I mean, come on. We're looking at that compared to Snakewater, which has been in like every season since I started playing.
Like season 5 or season 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Way back from when I started playing. Back in like season 15 of ESEA was my first one. So like it's been like 6 years and it's been a staple just from when I started playing, and it was years before that. So yeah, Logjam, a little bit different team cohesion just on the fact that it's a map that's not played quite as much. Snakewater could be a whole different story. Hopefully they'll be able to tighten up that cohesion with Locke, keep them alive a little bit more, because that was an issue at times. Locke just dying way more than Doge.
Yeah, a lot of the times Locke would die was in like post-Uber situations as well, though, which I feel just means the collapse from Coffee Clock was just that little bit more focused. He would often die to like a really well-placed sticky by Redcoat, for example. Like Redcoat actually fragged him quite a lot. And I think that's, yeah, just like the combo coordination on the side of Coffee Clock being just that little bit more so in the crucial moments. And as you say, Locke just hung out to dry just a little bit there at the end. Although as we do turn our sights towards Snakewater here, the mid fight, of course, of any 5CP map is like super important. Obviously, I'm not, blowing anyone's minds by saying that, but the key thing of every mid that Big Chungus rather has been this double soldier aggression. That's what they do the best. The just like soldier play of Rocky and Hertz together. They do the same thing and they shoot at the same thing with every bomb. It's really exciting to see. And I think that this mid soldier bombs are very, very effective because you're bombing right onto this low ground where the medic is standing. So I think that mid, if these double soldier mids keep working for Big Chungus, then I think there's definitely a huge possibility that they can take this one right back. But that being said, these two soldiers are jumping into literally the 2 best scouts in Australia right now in Sam and Cookie. So it's if they just get absolutely minced by Sam and Cookie, then their team loses these mids every time. So it's still very, very up in the air. If these soldier bombs work, then I see it going really, really well. If these soldier bombs don't work, then I reckon it's going to be Farm City for Coffee Clock right now.
I'm still also trying to figure out something. This is way back. In my downtime, I'm still trying to figure out what that pug site I used to play Logjam on in Europe, like Europugs back circa 2014, 2015 was. If there's any Europeans, I think I saw Salintas out there at one point. If there's any Euros out there that remember what like the main site for like somewhat semi-high level TF2 pickup. Thank you. That's the one. That's where I played Logjam way back in the day.
Is that a good birthday present there, Dreamboat?
Yeah, just remembering that. And yes, since you mentioned it, 23 years ago today, March 27th, 1996. Well, about 9 months before that, an accident happened, and that resulted in something that happened March 27th, 1996. And you can blame that event on ruining everybody's lives with me being born.
I guess what he's trying to
23
say is let's drop some happy birthday Dreamboats in chat, or happy birthday Graham, I should say, or the artist formerly known as Dreamboat. I do apologize for calling you Dreamboat every now and again. It's just a hard habit to break. I'm sure you understand.
Hey man, it's been I was in TF2 for 5 years, 4 and a half of which, 4 and like 3, I don't know. It was a lot. My alias was Dreamboat. Everyone knows me as Dreamboat. I made it big as Dreamboat. I only changed to Graham Casts like almost 4 months ago now. That was like, literally like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I announced new year, new me. So I don't blame you
the
at
old
all.
alias. But yeah, it looks like we should be heading live pretty soon. It does look like Doge has fallen asleep or something again. Not sure what's happened. Doge has dropped from the server. He could just be getting a drink of water or having a pee or something. But there's every possibility that he has literally fallen asleep and will miss the rest of this game, as his past record does show.
Yes, that's a classic.
But yeah, we do see nothing really happening, just some more pre-game stuff a little bit while we wait for Doge. Just while we wait for Doge, I was mentioning a little bit about the double soldier aggression on these mids, as I see that is like a good, like, solid sort of I hesitate to say like the most important part, but it is a very, very integral part of their mid strategy. What do you reckon the strategy for Coffee Clock is? Is it just simply wait for these 2 soldiers to jump so that we can farm them, or is it something a little bit more advanced? What do you think they're going to do on this mid, Dreamboat?
I mean, the thing is with Coffee Clock, when you have Salmon Cookie on Scout, you can quite literally just be like, yeah, I'm just going to wait for them to bomb, and then our scouts will just be giant anti-air guns and put them right back on the ground. It's great. It's an amazing feeling when you have scouts that can just perpetually click on things. I was never one of those. I wouldn't know the feeling, but
no.
Like at the same time for Coffee Clock, honestly, what you could almost do on mid is just be like, yeah, let's just have Riot do something. It like when you have Riot on the field, I've been a big fan of him for a long time. I've personally thought for a few years now he's been the best roamer in Team Fortress 2. And I kind of feel like you could you can almost treat him like Olaf Meister in Fnatic of like 2015, where it was literally just like some of Pronax's strats where let's just have Olaf kill someone and go off that. And I feel like you could just do that with Riot. It's like, yeah, let's just have Riot do something like something insane and we win.
Yeah, Riot is known for that, as we do see Doge finally waking up from his nap, and we do head live into this second map here, as this is the first mid of Snakewater. Enrith and Redcoat both arriving around the same time. Enrith choosing to go through the saw area, and Redcoat coming in from the lower. Redcoat has actually hit much more of his stickies onto that, but as I say that, this is the double soldier aggression I was talking about before, as Hertz and Rocky both jump forward, and it does seem that Yule and Riot were doing the same thing at the same time, but they actually both die, whereas only Rocky dies. there. Sam actually does lose his life right at the end there to the soldier who didn't die of Hertz, and they are forced to back all the way out there as this double soldier aggression is much more effective on the side of Big Chungus than it is on Coffee Clock here, and I will get very sick of saying Big Chungus in a serious voice very soon, Dreamboat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a name, that's for sure. Not one of the best ones in TF2 history. And of course, that's the way it goes, right? Like, I talk big game, I hype up Riot, call him the best roamer in TF2, and he goes ahead and does absolutely nothing on that mid. Caster's Curse, man. That's how it works, everybody. If you're new to this, you're not used to this. Whenever I say something insane's gonna happen, it doesn't. Rocky goes for a butter knife. And, oh, I thought he actually killed Duel there. I thought Duel was gonna crater.
He was called, I think, there. There was a spy off-class in spawn checking for that. This collapse as they try to walk in towards this lobby is actually really good. Managing to shut down all of these, like, really really good sightlines, actually, that Sam could have. Riot actually getting absolutely crushed by Enrith to some really nice pipes. And this is resetting again very quickly. We may see Riot coming up on an off-class again, see if he can, you know, do the double off-class strat, as it does look like Sam takes out quite a lot of damage there. But yeah, Rocky does lose his life for that here, and this is Riot coming up on Soldier as he's leaving all the off-classing to Sam right now. Oh, and he crushes Hertz just as I say that. That is a really nice shot on the jumping Soldier from Sam just there. We do have all of the soldiers jumping forward. Sorry, I should say all of the soldiers. I should say the soldier jumping forward here as Yule is just spawning up now. It is all of them indeed, and they do manage to successfully cap that without exchanging a single Uber just off that one frag. Sam is really forward in this lower area, seeing if he can get any pot shots off. Does look like Locke is giving him a couple of opportunities here, but he is mainly staying behind the house as his team does walk forward into managing to reset this, and Sam has turned around and now sniping from the drop down area as blue team does eventually retake that saw position, Graham.
We got a little bit of positioning there, but, you know, for what? I mean, we need to start seeing some movement here. A bomb from Hertz, a bomb from Rocky. I don't know what you want to do, how you want to do it, but some movement, and Hertz goes right in and loses the old school MG to Riot, who's flying straight forward, trying to get in. Actually, he's going to back up with his light.
Yeah, these players seeing if they can get forward and do something, and they get shut down and just change their minds really, really quickly, which is obviously, from a defensive team's perspective, exactly what you want to see, but unfortunately, like, no frags being traded. Sorry, I move away from the mic to burp. But yeah, we do see, again, nothing really happening here. Hertz actually managing to off-class onto Sniper after he does lose his life there. He's seeing to get forward down onto this lower ground a little bit there as he's trying to... Oh, this is an interesting angle, actually. You don't see this very often. This is way back on mid, seeing if he can look through the window. That's really interesting. It'll have to have someone peek into him, though. Someone seeing if they can jump into the window. Looks like it may be Riot actually trying a little bit of cheeky stuff there as he does. Ooh, survive on very low health there. Waits for that arrow from his medic. Yule jumping around again, seeing what they can do, trading some rockets there. Hertz does lose his life, but Sam is baited forward just a little bit and does lose his life to Lau there. And that's one down on each team. We'll see if they can try to pressure anything a little bit. Enrith is going quite forward, but there's some spam coming in from the window, sort of forcing him back a little bit. But these stickies are everywhere. Rocky, oh no. All those hours on Tempest for that, Rocky. Oh dear. Rocky unfortunately beefs it through that window. No counter sack there. Sam respawns on Sniper. Riot is checking for any funny business in spawn. Does manage to change off as he spots that it is just Hertz on Sniper, and they're not trying anything else right now, Graham.
I mean, I'm a little surprised that Rocky couldn't jump through the window. I mean, he's a Rocky. It's a window. Like, he should just shatter and fly through it, right?
I get it.
It's like what you did on, like, back in those, like, mid-2000 rom-coms where you just threw rocks at windows to get your crush's attention.
I don't think you really like
accidentally
shattered their window with a brick or anything.
No, you threw like a little one to try and get it, and then there was like the comedy where like I forget what it was. There's definitely a scene where you threw it too hard and it someone threw it too hard and it genuinely like broke the window. Might have been a commercial here. actually, thinking about it.
Oh, Sam wins the sniper duel just there, and does dome hurt. Sees if he can get quite forward. Yule is actually taking a lot of damage from these stickies. Jumps right into Rocky, actually managing to clear him out of that upper area as he does get that buff and jump back up again. But this is all the ground here. They're seeing if they can get Sam into a more aggressive position. Someone's bound to peek this eventually, and we'll just see if whether Sam's reflexes are fast enough to dome Enrith as he repeaks this. They know he's there. It's just time will tell when they repeak it. No repeaks just yet. Hertz is up on Spy. Oh, there is just a little fraction there. Yeah, the scout is spotting that for that. They know that it's there. Hertz is actually underneath in the Africa region right now, seeing if he can gain positional advantage right now. He's decloaking right behind, but there's a really sort of long distance between him and the player that he needs to make. But Doge is giving him all the space in the world. Doge forces to the revolver. Oh man, Hertz does his job just with the revolver and decloaks and runs right away. Riot goes forward to see if he can get anything, but this is now full Uberad on lock as they are. This scout is actually taking a lot of ground for free without being attached. Hertz does lose his life to Sam there, but then they're forced all the way back out. Yule is gonna go for a play here. Ooh, amazing force on lock there. Yule is going to lose his life too. Yule is actually just like in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Lock does survive though, but this is now 50% Uber advantage onto Doge, where it looks like they're getting ready to push out, hopefully? Maybe?
Cookie literally just held W through cheese in like 2-shot lock. Just Cookie thing.
Oh, and
Rocky
the point is being played actually
the
already.
push is coming through. They're trying to get it on this point. They're putting pressure, but the players are falling. They're dwindling. No one is alive. It just hurts and make that a full wipe. But he killed Doge.
Yeah, Doge actually not quite drops there, but he was pretty high percentage. Does lose his life, as that is the saving grace from that play. Right at the end there, as they do sack 5 people at that point in what was like a little bit of a premature push, I felt. They were trying to do this off-Uber play before anything could happen there, but it was just a little bit too much for them. Riot seeing if he can get into this window, but he just runs into Rocky, who does clean him up really quickly. This is now the Uber out on the side of blue team here. Hertz jumps onto the pack, but there's a sticky trap there. He got absolutely brained there. Doge actually does lose his life to Rocky though. This is Doge down again, and Lock is still up with this ad. The soldiers are jumping forward. Down is taking quite a lot of damage, and it looks like Down and Lock are forced to back out as everyone else dies. Down dies too, and it's just Lock. If he gets this saw, he does manage to get his Uber. Oh, unfortunately, these 2 scouts don't let him get anywhere close enough. And that is Hertz spawning up on the sniper in some sort of last-ditch attempt, as this is still the first round of this map, ladies and gentlemen. This is so back and forth, Dreamboat. I'm really excited to see what happens next.
I don't know what I'm watching at times here. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, some of these pushes are so awkward. Like, you'd almost think that these teams should be tighter, but then some of them, like, I'm still almost disgusted that they just let Cookie run out cheese in 2-shot lock, getting that force out before that last push. I'm a little bit disgusted that everyone died. Hertz is still alive. He comes in late and still kills Doge. Like, those are things that you'd expect to be tightened up and probably shouldn't happen. They're very avoidable bed forces or picks, and it didn't come through. But now down goes Yule, down goes Cookie, and we're okay.
Yeah, that sniper in Hertz actually doing quite a lot of damage to these soldiers while they're in the air, managing to turn that fight around for them, as these Ubers are now even pushing into mid with their 2-player ad. This is not the best trade if I am Doge here, as unfortunately Sam is absolutely blocked right in there. Oh, but this block is standing on 8 stickies and gets absolutely dead on the second he starts flashing. And oh, that's an excellent shot from Hertz onto Cookie actually. So this is still player ad. They may choose to collapse just a little bit while they're still 2 down, and see if they can get anything on Doge. Does look like what they're trying to do, and they are choosing to back out here to keep Doge alive with this Uber ad. Hertz surviving this play on 1 HP, does manage to pick up that little bottle in the kitchen area. But that point does go their way. Despite losing their med, this is going to be a really quick repush, though, from the side of Coffee Clock here, though, I imagine. Looks like, actually, they're choosing to wait for Uber, though. This is, like, while everything... I feel that they're doing this because every time Every time there's been an off Uber push beforehand, it's been really messy, and the team who's done the off Uber push has lost because they just tried to force it a little too quickly. I reckon Yule or Redcoat, whoever's calling here, is just going, let's wait for this Uber to be up so that we can just clinically push that, and that is what happens. They managed to get 3 frags really, really quickly and managed to take this midpoint, and they're ready to keep pushing it forward. Hopefully they're going to get some more ground before Lock gets up on his Uber, and they looks like they're going to trade it onto this second point. The cap has already been played on second. Hertz is really far forward, but he's quite low health. This Uber comes up, and it looks like it's going to be a last sort of to second stalemate here for a second. You never know if they're going to push out. Looks like Enrith is making this move. Enrith does want to push out. Yeah, he kills Riot there. This Uber is managed to make it all the way out to second with no force attempt in play, apart from Yule and Riot both managing to lose their lives behind as they were trying to play for like some sort of cheeky back cap moments. These Ubers should even up pretty soon, but actually looks like mid's gonna fall before that happens.
He just drops out. He just drops out and he gets the force. Yeah, Rocky got the kill, sure, a couple nice rockets. But how? Like, they don't clear that little corner up on that shack. Lock just gets 2-shot again. This is so sloppy from Big Chungus. Yeah, they're sacking out here. They're not getting close to Doge. Doge will be A-okay. But Big Chungus, they're just hanging Lock out to dry.
Yeah, that was a little rough, to be honest, from that post-Uber situation, as that was really well played. They expected those 2 soldiers just to come right in. And Doge did some excellent wiggles to stay alive, and his team collapsed around him really well to keep him alive. Hertz is in the forward spawn, sniping a little bit, does dome Cookie at the end, but all 2 nice quick sync rockets from Yule do clean him up, and he is now a non-factor in this fight as they have taken all the way through second here. Just Sam on the way back, capping there as they're taking this Uber. Looks like they're going under right away really quickly. The Uber does come out. Redcoat does get juggled a little bit, but Cookie frags Rocky really quick. The Uber is actually up on the other team as Lock does use his Uber there. They do trade 1-for-1 here. Redcoat is actually trapped in drop down. Looks like he may lose his life. Hits quite a lot of damage. Actually, Lau is almost overstaying his welcome a little bit. Does go for the fight in the end, but he means that he's not in any position to help fight this last cap, as Riot is by himself right now, seeing what he can do, and Lau is still very, very low health, actually on 8 health. It looks like they're going to repush. If I were them, I would repush right now. I'm not sure what's happening. It looks like they're just going to cycle this Uber. They're going to play it super safe already, which is contrary to every single play that we've seen so far. They're just choosing to cycle this Uber, which I think is what we need to see. Just a little bit of cool-headed thinking, cycling this Uber. They know it's like 30 ad, 20 ad.
Earth on Spy.
This has not made... This actually, I lie. It has made something happen. They did force Doge to the revolver before. Hertz is actually turning around and changing his mind really quick. I think he's realized that that is not the play. And now the Ubers are coming up. We should expect to see a push very soon, Dreamboat.
I'm just saying, you know, Rocky would have won that fight if he had the shotgun. Turn back for shotgun Rocky. But they are pushing forth here. Sentry gun has fallen. And now Rocky coming in right from above, lands on Doge. Down goes Yule and Sam. And this is surely going to be a hold.
Oh, the absolutely clutch saw, saving his life at the very end there, Lock. Yeah, that was actually really good. I was watching Enrith during that fight, and he just crushed Sam on the flank as he tried to enter really late in that fight and just sort of see through that hole, but he just got absolutely mulched by Enrith, and Enrith doing a lot of work in that fight, keeping his team in a good spot. And although that being said, Enrith is in a good spot right now, dealing quite a lot of damage as these scouts try to walk forward. Lau is taking a 1v1 with Sam, but Sam does choose to back off there. The stickies on the point are doing quite a lot, but that being said, the soldier is in behind. Yule doing quite a lot of work, but unfortunately Lock hits that surf, and while that was happening, his whole team collapses around him. Demoman and Scout both losing their life. Riot is going to see if he can buy any time for his medic and Scout to leave there, and this is the Pocket Scout charioting the med out after another really awkward fight, to be honest, Graham.
Yeah, and I mean, that was another case of Big Chungus kind of hanging a Lock out to dry, but some absolutely phenomenal strafing from Lock resulted in him living and keeping his life, keeping his Uber. Give them a window. Gives them a chance here. Keep in mind, do need them to pull out this map if we want to go to Gully Wash. And of course our next map is Gully Wash. It's no payload crap like whatever that other wannabe 6's game mode is that I've heard rumors about that they're running payload. What is that? That's just disgusting, and that's not proper. No, we play Gully Wash next if Big Chungus pull it out. If Coffee Clock win, I mean, they're in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, it is... Oh, Sam crushing down there as he is up on this sniper class. Does overstay his welcome just a little bit and unfortunately loses his life. Yule is going to see if he can trade anything there with his flank counterpart. No, Rocky is playing Roma and Yule is playing Pocket. So yes, I lied. There's no flank counterpart happening here, but the Doges actually managed to cycle this to be full ad for him now, even though they do lose 2. They're waiting for these spawns, and they do manage to get in just as these spawns come up. They're trading this Uber on this point. Hertz is very low. Looks like he may... Redcoat actually does get the pick on the demo man there, and he does come in as this fight is now Rocky going... Rocky was in a really good position there, hiding all the way through lower that entire fight. And then just timing it so well. And this is Red Team unfortunately dying all around. And it is just 2 players, both sub 30 HP. 20 HP on Hertz and 11 HP on Down. They're moving forward, ready to see if they can lock Doge out, to see if there's anything that they can do. Yeah, this second cap is definitely going to go their way. Unfortunately, it's reset to an even Ubers, as both meds did die in that fight, but that was a really down-to-the-wire fight with such low HP on both teams at the very end there.
Xander, you're a smart guy. I have a question for you. Like, both of these teams like their medics, right? Like, it's not like it's Brutalist. Like, they actually like their medic, right?
I would imagine so. I reckon Doge is quite likable.
Then how come they're hanging them out to dry? How come they're not doing anything to help them? These medics are just... I feel so bad for them. They're just getting boned.
I feel that at this level play, any like slight positioning like error by your medic is so quick to be punished. So I feel that in post Ubers in particular, if your team is like really far forward but you aren't, then there's a player behind ready to clean up. Or vice versa, if you're really forward and your team isn't, then the other team is there ready to collapse all around you. So I feel that it's just really punishing to med players in general. Lau actually trying for something a little cheeky, getting absolutely crushed. I think that might have been, is that the taunt coming out a little bit there? Heard a little bit of a yee-haw from the engineer there. Yule loses his life too in that sort of fight there, goes for a trade. Lau is coming up on Sniper. Now, this is another player that I would love to see snipe more often. I know when he's got players like Hertz and Rocky on his team, he's always kind of like the third choice, as it were, but Lau himself is a monstrous sniper, so this is something I'm excited to see. Not sure if they are aware that he's sniping just yet. Riot is up on the counter sniper as well. Yeah, there we go. The scout has seen Lau there, and they're now, yeah, giving him the respect that he deserves. They're not giving him any angle here as he's trying to make something happen. Teleporter frag on the flank. There's none of that cheeky mookie engineer play that you'd see from EU trying to drop the med as he comes through Shutter. Lau is actually getting really far forward. He's going to get punished for that. Yeah, they do force him back right at the end. Ooh, actually does manage to dome Riot right at the end of that fight there. Riot is re-peaking that, but he has no buff right now, so he is one-shottable. Lau is re-peaking this. Where's Lau re-peaking this from? Not sure. Just the normal spot. Top left. There we go. Lau re-peaking it from the top left here as Riot is trying to rotate just a little bit over to the other side, watching this Shutter, seeing if he can get anything from Rocky or Hertz overextending through that Shutter. And this is a pretty solid hold. Looks like there's not really too many gaps in here. Would be some sort of... Oh, yes, just as I say that, some sort of excellent shot come out, and that is the shot coming out as Lau does dome Sam. Riot actually gets Cookie on the way, but Riot does trade, actually. Sorry, Rocky gets Cookie, Riot trades with Rocky right at the end there, and Rocky does manage to get the gun just before he dies too. So that's pretty good, and that is the cue for Hertz to make a move. Excellent surf from Doge. Ooh, very lucky that he saves that last rocket there. Unfortunately, he does slap off that panel instead of sticking to that upper area, which he would have definitely survived if he got that upper area. But yeah, that last rocket unfortunately missing from Hertz. That was a really nice bomb in from him. We do see no counter sack right now. We do see a little bit of aggression from Riot and Cookie, but that has kind of backed off really, really quickly as Sam is up on this sniper now. Hertz on Spy might be just checking to see if there's any funny business in spawn. Lau is still sniping. Does look like Hertz has committed. They won't expect 2 off classes. This is the long brain play. Hertz is in behind them right now. And Sam does win the duel with Lau. This is the moment. Hertz has been spotted though. The roamer in Riot does spot him. He does lose his life there. Unfortunately, nothing going. This is now 2 down on the side of blue team here, and it does look like red team are going to push out. Really aggressive bomb from Riot, trying to catch Enrith out on the ground there, and this Uber is now committed. Locke is backing out, seeing if he can meet that. Oh, and that arrow from Sorry, Doge. I keep calling everyone Redcoat. Arrow from Doge saving Riot's life, and he does manage to trade that onto down just as he's backing out. And Sam is still sniping, but this is now 100% Uber ad. Sam looks like he may lose his life though, but they're already in through kitchen. Locke is running for his life as there's just a few players sort of stuck behind. Hertz is stuck behind. He's going to see if he can get that back cap. Unfortunately, there's nothing happening there as they are ready to stack this. There are a few players seeing if they can do something cheeky here, but yeah, this point is going the way, and they know Hertz is behind now. Looks like they're going to send Sam to clean him up at the spawn. Oh, Sam loses that fight. Hertz is actually doing so well on 20 HP after that fight, but Hertz does win that for his team there, and Rocky is seeing if he can get anything cheeky, seeing if he can buy the time for Hertz to do something else super cheeky, as Hertz is now jumping upper area behind, taking that duel with Sam as well. Looks like he's not going to win this one, and he will back out. Riot is coming in to see if he can clean up any damage there. He does actually absolutely crush both soldiers, and Yule cleans up down right at the end there. Some excellent soldier play right now. Rocky gets slapped into the ground. There's no scouts capping the point. Yeah, there's a little bit of miscommunication there. Sam caps this point now. Not sure what that was. That might have been
Everyone
Cookie.
was full health.
Cookie going forward to see if he could do something, and then the call must have been made. Use this Uber. That was a little questionable from Locke there, as this Uber does come in. Cookie fighting this Pyro from underneath there, and there is the nice sticky coming in to clean that up. Soldier's taking a lot of ground there, as that lots of damage is actually coming in from Yule. Down gets cleaned up from that. Riot gets cleaned up from that. Looks like Locke is also going to get cleaned up from that. Lau is now getting cleaned up from that, and that is the last player alive getting cleaned up in Enrith there. And this is 1 round on the board, which was a 23-minute round, Dreamboat.
Alright. Now this is where we see if the old TF2 is still happening in 2019. The way this goes in TF2 is we have the 23-minute round. We follow it up with like a 2-minute round, just the way it always goes. See if this will be a lightning round to run it back here. Bring us right back to where we started. Smith coming in, just some rangy spam. Hertz, and now Rocky coming in, flying from above. They've done a lot of damage. They found the kill onto the Devilman, but that's all that they managed to find. They need to find a few more. There's a lot of damage done. Riot and Yule are so very lit. Not able to be condensed upon right now. Yule finally does go down to down. Will they find any more? It is a 4v4. There's no demo over on Coffee Clock. Makes this a little bit harder to work with. Starting to pressure though. They're grabbing space, but no kills have gone either way right now. It's so very awkward. Lots of damage done, and the soldier in behind will split their focus, and it will lead the cleanup. Riot! And he gets the drop to end it off. Ladies and gentlemen,
oh my God.
Mr. Riot.
That is absolutely insane. Just the timing on that bomb. I was so worried that Sam had overextended just then and was walking so far forward, and his medic only just barely saving him. But Riot, while everyone was like, frag this idiot, he's overextended, Riot comes in over the top. 3 super quick frags, including a medic drop. He just drops the lowercase no in chat. He's not having any of that, and this is now full Uber ad as they're gesturing towards this last point already, Dreamboat.
Oh, baby, 60% ad sitting on Doge. Anyone has the opportunity to make the hero play? Can anyone salvage this? The push will surely be coming in momentarily. Here comes Uber, popped out, ready to go right in onto the sentry gun. There is still a heavy to deal with. It needs to be pressured off the point. It has been done so, and they managed to find. They got the kill on it, but it's still the kills. They're going the way of the defense. Big chungus are finding a few. Redcoats still trying to fight it out, but there are just 2 fall back. It hurts. He's found Doge.
Redcoat does manage to trade with him right at the end there, but yeah, that was really unfortunate. It looked so good as they cleaned up that gun so well, but that Putis just stayed alive for way too long, playing around the, like, clipping on top of that truck on last, and does manage to survive there, and that is actually a really, really late spawn on their demo man, so it looks like they could definitely take this midpoint, hopefully for free, without Lock getting forced, although this sniper in Sam may come into play a little bit. They do come in flooding through right now. Lau loses his life. They know this sniper's there now. Lock is quite low. He's playing it quite safe just as he's starting to walk forward here. But the sniper dot is still... Oh, sorry, that's not a sniper dot. That's a crossbow embedded in a wall. Never mind. Sam has been forced out. He's trying to re-peek from this lower area. And then Sam is, yeah, forced out, unfortunately. They're waiting for this crossbow from Doge. Down is really, really far forward. They're taking this Uber. Whoa, no! They drop their pocket scout as they try to lead this Uber in. Lock and Down disconnected just for a second there, and that looks like it could cost them this push, as there's 4 minutes left on the round, and this is now full ad. The Uber has been popped out really early before second point is even capped. 2 soldiers behind though. Hertz does trade. Rocky manages to get so many frags though. He's so low. Unfortunately, looks like he's not going to get out. He gets out? That was crazy. I was so sure he was not going to get out there. Unfortunately,
I'm not supposed to swear, but the only thing I have to say to that is, what the fuck?
Yeah, he should not have got out in like the slightest there. That was so dumb. But that being said, as you've mentioned quite a lot of times before, it was Lock getting left out to dry just a little bit there. And it does look like this push is not working for the red team at all. 3 down, right? Such low health. Doge does lose his life as well. Rocky is putting in the game of his life. He is still alive. The soldier is coming in. Oh, Yule coming in big, dropping Enrith and Lock.
They're still going in though. They're still on the point. Hertz is here. I think they have it, and they do. They've tied things up. 50 minutes left on the clock, and they have managed to keep themselves alive. Coffee clock, if they'd managed to pull out this map, we're done. That's it. They're going to the grand finals. Big Chungus need another round. They need to pull it out if we want to go to Gully Wash.
Yeah, so it all hinges on this mid. With such little time remaining, it really depends on this. And my camp is on Enrith right now as he arrives pretty similar to Redcoat. There's stickies around him all the time. No real damage being dealt just yet. And now it's soldier time. Riot jumping really far forward. Unfortunately, he's just beefing everything. Nothing really happening from him. But while that's being said, it is the other aggression coming forward across the point to back him up, as he is merely just a distraction as everyone else gets walked completely through, and it's just Down and Lock running for their lives back to last, as we do see this pocket scout charioting his med out yet again. Only Riot and the demo man losing their life in that push, and this second point is going down in their favor really, really quickly. This is even Uber still. It looks like they do want to fight this, and this is such low health. There's some excellent stickies from Enrith keeping his team in that fight there. They do flash actually quite a lot. Looks like Doge may actually get caught out here. No, Hertz is still behind. Cookie is actually going to win this duel on last with Down, and the soldier is coming in, and the Yule trades on the last point. Unfortunately, that cap hasn't gone their way, but there's so many players down. It looks like it could very, very easily change this around. Only 3 up with 3 seconds until Lau spawning. Riot is up above this point. Looks like he's going to clean that frag up onto Rocky there. Lau coming in really far forward, but Riot is doing a lot of damage, and the scout is there. Riot's still alive. The skill stick is out, and that cap has happened. That is 1 minute left with 1 round advantage on the side of Coffee Clock. Is this possible? I'm not sure. Is this possible, Graham?
It will be incredibly tight. It needs to be an absolutely flawless round. I'm not sure if it will be. They are going to mid. That's the first question answered. Redcoat Zygo starting to fly out. He needs to do some damage. This needs to be very fast made. We need to see a lot of aggression coming in. Rock's going deep. Gets Raiden on top of the medic. He's done a lot of damage. Hurts there with the 32 condense. They're finding these kills, but they need to be on this. They need to be capping up, and they need to find the rest of these kills. It's just Hurt alive, and I don't think this is any doable at all. It's all over.
Oh, does he hit it? Oh, if he'd have hit that, that would have been one for the logs. That would have been thick. Cookie loses his life to the crater anyway. That would have been amazing. Hertz does win that mid for his team. Looks like they are going to cap this, but there's 19, 18, 17 seconds left. This is not possible, and this is the upper page playoffs going the way of Coffee Clock in what has been the closest game of ozfortress this season. So this puts me in really, really high hopes for the games that we're going to see coming up. Of course, Coffee Clock now advanced to the grand finals in top-seeded position, and Big Chungus have been knocked down to the lower page playoffs where they have, the lower bracket semifinals. I'm not sure how it works. They have to beat whoever wins against the third and fourth teams, which are Pineapple Towers and Unanimous Confusion. So whoever comes out on top of that will have to face off against the Hertz team. You could see an upset, you never know, but at the moment I am anticipating these two teams to face each other again in a couple of weeks in the grand final, which will be a very, very exciting game to watch if this cast has anything to go off, Graham.
Oh my god, I'm genuinely so excited for just the rest of these playoffs. This was a really fun map to cast. Don't get me wrong, like stalemate, sure, but I mean, some people are gonna blame stalemates on Logjam, and if people do that, you're an idiot. I mean that nicely. Like, it wasn't stalemates because of the map. We just saw Snakewater, which was way more stalematey. And to be honest, thank God neither of these were on Granary. I would probably want to genuinely jump off the nearest bridge, because Granary and stalemates go together like peanut butter and jelly.
I can see you're a fan of Granary.
Yeah. I really hate Granary. I'm not gonna hide that. It was. I'm a scout main. That should be public knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see one reason I hate it. It's not a very pretty map. Another reason I hate it. I've never I find casts on it, just the ones that I've done, they've been subpar games. I don't know if I'm unlucky. Like, Metalworks is my opposite map for that. Every single time I cast Metalworks, it is an absolute banger of a game.
I mean, we did have a very banger game there. So here tonight, I feel like there's not many games that get quite as banger as the set that we saw tonight. Even though Coffee Clock do take it in 2 maps, we don't see that third map. This was so close, and it was a real nail biter finish right at the end there, and some really, really good play. Just as we sort of look at a couple of logs here, the player that stands out to me right away is Riot. Like, Riot as your roamer, when you're top fragging in the server as your roamer with like some of the least deaths behind your demo man and medic, like that's some serious roamer chops right there. I know he played a lot of sniper and sort of they were sitting on their last a lot, so deaths kind of don't happen so much there. But when your top fragger is your roamer and, you know, top damager as well, even above the demo man, that's a flex right there. That's a Riot BZ coming out on top.
Yeah, and I hyped him up before the map, calling him, in my opinion, best player or best roamer in the world. Granted, I haven't paid attention to TF2 much for the past year. I don't know if that's changed, but Riot, you know, he put on a show. It's what you expect from him. He is so damn talented, and, you know, hats off to him for the performance he put in on this map.
Yeah, very, very impressive play from Riot. Of course, the Demo Man Redcoat Zygote also doing quite a lot in terms of frags and damage for his team, coming in on that second damage, only about 100 damage in behind his roamer, which is like one good rocket on that last mid, I imagine. Enrith, of course, doing loads of work for his team. Enrith is like right up the top of his team, just ahead of Rocky. In terms of damage, and Hertz, of course, doing quite a lot of work too. Unfortunately, not quite managing to do enough. That double soldier bomb was figured out on those mids, and Coffee Clock knew exactly how to turn it around, and it translated into two very close rounds, but it still translated into 2 rounds. So that for me, I think, wraps up a lot of what we want to say tonight. We might save any interviews or anything like that just for the grand finals, because hopefully that happens sometime where I don't have to get up at 5:30 tomorrow morning. So I'm keen to head to bed pretty soon. Is there any last words as we just try to close this one out here, Dreamboat?
Yeah, thank you, TF Live, for having me. It is always an absolute pleasure. I mean, no matter where I ever go as a caster, if I ever go anywhere, I wouldn't be anywhere without TF Live. TF Live gave me a home when I didn't have one. TF Live took this crappy caster that wasn't good enough for anywhere in North America, and wound up grinding me up, getting me good enough that they took a chance on me at I-58. Rest is history. So massive love to TF Live, and I'm just thrilled I could spend my 23rd birthday casting TF2 for you guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Dreamboat, or Graham. Sorry, I'll get that one day. Thanks, Graham. It's been a pleasure casting you with again. Thanks again. I don't know if Hyce is still held around for the rest of the cast, but thank you to Hyce as well for a wonderful map and for coming in here and sort of saying just a couple of words about your map and the process of working with ozfortress and all that kind of stuff in terms of developing this map with all your feedback. And I do look forward to any changes that sort of happen towards the next season of play. I know you're trying to see if you can get it into ESEA or anything like that. Best of luck with all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you're still here. Are you still here?
I am still here.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Thanks for as always, for having me on, and I always like to give my 2 cents, and it was great to see a couple of great Australian teams play on the map, and I'm really excited for what comes for the future for it, so...
Awesome. We may yet see it in more of these playoff games. We should have another couple of games before we close out the season, and we might not be the last we see of this map, which I'm, of course, keen for. I always love casting Logjam games. But yes, do you have any shout-outs or anything you want to say just before we wrap things up, Hyce?
Shout out, check us out. My album just came out on Spotify, on any streaming service you have. Check us out. The RLN, our album, The Rise of the Phoenix, just came out, so self-indulgence. Check out my album, would much appreciate it.
That's cool,
otherwise, man. Thanks to ozfortress for playing the map, having the map in season, and having me on, as always.
Fantastic.
Oh, actually, can I make a
yes.
tiny little announcement? I'm going to Copenhagen Games. I'm actually not casting Team Fortress 2, though. I'm going to be casting the Women's Counter-Strike tournament at Copenhagen Games. So hope to see some of you guys out there. Definitely going to make some time to wander over to the TF2 section and hang out with all the lovely folks from the community that are going to be there.
Yeah, say hi to Weedhoofed there. It'll be great to see any pics of you two together, having a good old time. But yeah, that's another community event coming up, Copenhagen Games. It is coming up in April, I believe, very soon. So yeah, it's going to be streamed, I assume. I'm not quite sure what the procedure is for streaming the TF2 or who's behind it or anything like that. But I imagine it will be, and there should be some posts on TFTV or anything like that if you want to tune into some of those streams. Unfortunately, TF Live is not going to be doing any coverage of Copenhagen Games as much as we'd love to. But yeah, just as we wrap things up tonight, shout out to Graham as well. Happy birthday, man. Thanks for coming in and spending it with us. Shout out to Hyce as well. Fantastic map making, and thanks for dropping in here. Big shout out to Thermite. I think I didn't say anything at the start, but Thermite was operating your camera throughout all of this stream. As always, you did a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you for these top 2 teams for some of the best TF2 we've seen recently. And I'm really, really excited to see how these finals play out, both the lower page playoffs and the grand final eventually. So tune back into TF Live, as we will be back with some of those games in the next few weeks. In the upcoming weeks, I should say. There's probably one next week, one the week after. I'm not sure. We'll schedule them and get back to you. Watch out for announcements on wherever you get your announcements from. And that'll be all for us tonight. Good night, everyone.
Drive safe.